Ninja Aesthetics.
Let's talk about
Take
Botox.
one. Well, you see a lot of my patients who are coming in for Botox, even sometimes before I see them. Talk to me about Botox.
Yeah, I think the first thing that most patients say when they come in is they're just concerned about the changes that they're seeing in their face, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. We see people starting to notice things change. So I get the privilege of chatting with them about those things, and then they come on over and see you to get some stuff done.
Yeah, I call it the day when somehow you're going about your life, and then you kind of notice something, and then you're finally looking in the mirror and going, what the is happening to my face? I mean, like, really, what's the process for people? Do they suddenly pop, make a move, or what do they find out about it?
I find that people think about it a lot before they ever come in the door. They have noticed these things. They've maybe tried some lotion they picked up at Ulta or Sephora or the drugstore. They've tried, different patches or things, and just the stuff that they're doing at home isn't working. These things aren't changing what they're seeing in the mirror. So they think about it for a long time before they ever walk in the doors. And when they do, that's a really vulnerable space for them to be in, and to open up to a complete stranger, basically, and say, hey, this is what I'm worried about. This is what I'm starting to see. And that's a heavy moment. It's a heavy moment because you feel that from people. You feel the concern, and they just don't feel like themselves.
I think every single person that walks through our doors, whether they express it or not, is thinking, am I going to look weird? Right? Am I going to look weird? Is this going to hurt? How much is it going to cost? I think we both appreciate that people are coming from a vulnerable spot. We try to be as authentic on our social, and we love, one of my favorite things is when people walk in and say, I feel like I already know you. Which is really, I think, a reassuring thing.
They're putting their face in your hands. That is a huge leap of faith and trust, and that's where doing your research and finding a good injector is so incredibly important. And I think that waiting time in between when they first thought about it and when they walk in the door is spent gaining the trust of the people that they're thinking about and learning about them.
Yeah, so friends, family, stalking, right? What do they tell you they do?
Yeah, I have patients who come in and say, like, oh, I know that you work out, because they've been following us on Instagram for a year and a half. They know that we have children. They know that, we have lunch all the time together and that we're training. They just feel a connection to us already before they walk in the door. I think that's very powerful.
If there are some injectors out there, or people who are interested in this field, look, it may not be for everyone, but I can tell you, when I first got into this by accident, I didn't know anything about social media at all. And one of the biggest lessons I learned going to a social media conference early on was, I thought about, when I came back to the team, what did you learn? What are all the things? And I gave them the message. It was just push the damn button. Don't worry if you look your best, and don't worry what the background is or what you're going to say. Sometimes if you have something to say, just push the damn button. Or if your team is doing something funny, just put it out there. It really is amazing how people want to know. They want to know who you are, right?
Absolutely. And when you show up as your authentic self, it's easier to connect with people. You will attract the people who, as Dr. Green always says, believe what you believe. You will have such a great patient provider relationship that only comes from being yourself. People can tell when you're faking it. They really can.
Yeah, you like it or not, if you walk through the door going to some crazy guy dressing up as a ninja, it's on you.